We had an issue where you had an illegal alien truck driver that got a commercial driver's license in the state of California, employed by a California company, kill 3 people in Florida. This guy didn't even speak English. We're bringing him up on charges. He's going to face a lot. And we've been working with the federal government, and they are pulling that company's license to do business because you cannot employ somebody who cannot read the road signs.
Of course, this illegal alien in California killed 3 innocent people because he was reckless, he was dangerous, he shouldn't have been in the country. But now we come to find out he can't even read in the language the road signs are written in. So this is, again, it goes to the Democrats' basic problem, which is they're just too crazy.
That's Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Vice President J.D. Vance going after California and Washington State for giving an illegal alien who cannot read English or read traffic signs a license to drive a 40-ton truck. He's now charged with killing 3 people doing an insane U-turn with his rig in Florida. He was extradited to Florida from California today, where he will face charges. Again, joining us now from House Transportation, Congressman Tim Burchett. Congressman, it's great to see you again. Thanks for joining us. So the Trump administration is fighting this. They've taken at least 3,000 truckers off the U.S. highways after these drivers could not read English. They couldn't read traffic signs, warning of slow traffic ahead or dangerous conditions. We know that 19 states, including D.C., have given people, illegal aliens, driver's licenses. They can upgrade to commercial truckers or buses and taxis. So how do you stop this?
Well, first of all, Liz, thank you for having me on. You've got to get these labor bosses out of bed with the Democrat Party because they have sold out their memberships, they have sold out their communities, and frankly, they've sold out their country because the Democrats have got to have numbers. They got to have illegals in here loading up census numbers. Every shape, form, or fashion. That is exactly, you're seeing a complete manifestation of all that. And then in effect, these so-called leaders have sold out their own people because these jobs are not going to Americans that trade. These Teamsters, these guys, these professionals that are out on the road. That's why you're seeing big labor now. The membership, at least, is turning towards President Trump in record numbers, and they'll continue because they're tired of seeing our country sold out.
Yeah, but this is a real safety issue. It's like it's chasing the horses after they left the barn. The Obama White House suspended enforcement of requiring truckers to read English in 2016, and now you got, Texas, Tennessee. I'm looking at Wyoming, Iowa, and Arizona. They're trying to stop this.
Yeah, well, and again, it's when the cows have already left the barn, you're closing the barn door. You're exactly right. That is exactly what's happened. We've let this thing go on, and there's no telling how many that are in the system, and how do you pull those people back? That's going to be the big problem you're going to see. You're going to see and Trump will be blamed for it, and he has nothing to do with it when it's clearly the Biden administration and the left-wing liberals in the Democrat Party that have pushed this agenda completely down the throats of America. They're chasing their power is all it's about. It's about staying in power, and it's going to get people killed.
Okay, this is the other thing. It's also the employers of the truckers. So what do you make of the Trump White House revoking and taking back the business license of the California trucking company who had hired that illegal alien who's charged with killing 3 in that Florida truck crash? Listen to this. White Hawk Carriers of California. This company has a really bad track record. The CEO runs it out of his house, reportedly. It's had 25 truck safety violations in the last 24 inspections. 2 of its drivers were busted last year for driving on suspended licenses. So you're absolutely right, Congressman. This is, as we talked about, this is chasing the horses after they've left the barn.
Yes, ma'am. It's completely backwards. There's finally somebody in the White House that's going to go after him, and it's President Donald J. Trump. He is a new marshal in town, and frankly, I'm glad he's there.
Congressman Tim Burchett, a pleasure to have you on. Thanks for being with us tonight.